Well, I'm Sam Smith, Valley Forge and Wynn, here at the Trails End Festival, blacksmithing with my apprentice Neil Hamilton from Carroll Plantation. I've been working in my shop for 7 years on Route 2. The last full-time traditional blacksmith in the state of Maine. I use no modern means in my forging. It's all hand power. I use very traditional methods, leather bellows, levers and such, brick forge, soft coal. I learned my craft in Alair Village Blacksmithing Guild. I spent 7 years there where I worked my way up from an apprentice. It was in a historic 1830s village, so I got to actually live in the time period while I learned my trade. Now in my shop, I service my local community mostly. I make everything from furnishings for the home and camp, security, bars for your windows when they don't actually look like security bars, the decorative ironwork. I make tools, knives, anything you can think of. Yeah, anything you can think of. Ship's anchors, exactly, we do those. A lot of people don't know what blacksmiths do. They think we shoe horses, but that's just a common misnomer. Most people saw blacksmiths shoeing horses because the town was too small to support both a farrier and a blacksmith. So he got stuck with both. But blacksmiths are like doctors. There's many different kinds of blacksmiths we specialize in. That's good. What I'm doing here is tapering the metal down. I'm just making a quick S-hook for y'all. I've made hundreds of these things. What I'm working with is called mild steel. Blacksmiths in the day would use wrought iron, but since we don't commercially produce wrought iron in this country anymore, I have to use this. Sometimes with mixed results. As you can see, the metal doesn't stay hot very long. Now, there's a lot to blacksmithing, especially traditional blacksmithing. You got to know how much blast you got to give your fire. You got to know how to tend the coal fire proper. You got to use the right kind of coal. We use soft coal here. It's imported from Pennsylvania. A lot of blacksmiths in the day would use wooden forges very much like these here, with a brick basin instead of a cast iron one. This actual cast iron forge used to belong to the Army. Shoed horses for the cavalry. That's good. What I'm doing here is I'm tapering down the steel to a point, and I'm going to round it by knocking the corners off. One thing people don't realize, that anvils actually do half the work for a blacksmith. I'm sure there'll be a couple of blacksmiths that's mad out there, but sharing the trade secret. A good anvil will always bring your hammer halfway back up in the air. See, when you drop the hammer, it brings it back up. What happens is when I hit the steel, it's doing that to the other side of the metal, so I only actually have to work half of the metal at one time. Now this fire here is, they call it reducing fire. It's been burning for quite some time though. The fire characteristics change over time, where sometimes you just have to break it down and start all over again. Too much clinker and other debris get in the way. I'm going to keep rounding this piece of metal now. I'm going to start working on some decorations on it. Now these S-hooks that I'm building originally were invented for cooking. You use different amount of S-hooks depending on how low or high you wanted your pot above the coals. Now people use them to hang just about anything. I've even used them to pull my truck out of the mud. That's good. What I'm doing here is I'm scrolling the steel. Basically a protective measure so whatever you hang on these hooks don't stab you or stab through it. A little faster. One thing you got to know about steel is, in the sun it doesn't look so hot. But when you put it in the shade, you can see the true color of how hot it is. Well, blacksmiths don't usually go by temperature, they usually always go by color. So that's when we know what color it is going to take it out of the fire. So we look for certain things. That's good. That doesn't look very hot in the sun, but she'll bend right over like it doesn't even exist. Now the anvil is a universal tool. Without the anvil and the hammer, we wouldn't have anything today. I can use an anvil as a measuring tool, I can use it as a jig, and whatever you want. You can do anything you want in an anvil. What I'm doing now is I'm going to start another hook on the other side. So I'm heating it further down. And I'm going to do the same thing I did that, but opposite. So it makes an S shape, hence the S hook. More heat. Close. We're heating up a new piece of steel, so it's going to take a little bit longer. We're almost there, though. That's good. Steel is very malleable when it's hot. Okay, we got a bunch of cans right there now.
Ooh, that part's a little...
Always remove the hardy cutter from the anvil. I saw a blacksmith go halfway through his wrist because he refused to remove the hardy cutter out of his anvil. He almost lost his hand. His hammer hand. That's good, Neil.
Yeah. But I got an old rinky-dinky one. There's a hole in the wall. I figured I could cover this. Yeah. No one gave me a heart attack. They were making one before I got here.
What are they making?
Those interested in learning blacksmithing the traditional way, he comes to my shop. I have the Penobscot Valley Ironmongers. It's a guild. Neil here belongs, and several other local blacksmiths also belong. It's just an organizational structure to teach people the right way to blacksmith, so the old ways are not forgotten. Doing well, staying warm. That's good. One disadvantage of forging outside is things blow out of the fire and into your face all the time.
Where you based at?
Win. Win.
When?
Win. Near Millinocket.
Oh, okay. Like,
Right on Route 2.
Something I'd like to see if you can do, and I'm sure you can. I'd like to make a logo of the ATs.
Yep.
As a branding iron.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd love to do something like that.
Absolutely.
I like to get some of the locals. Nah, just kidding. Like this guy right here. Put a brand right there. Good luck with that. Brian's a big help. No, but I'd like to do something like that. Some of the wood things I like to do.
Yeah.
I want to put the AT logo on it.
Absolutely, I can do that for you. Just with my custom work, I just take a 50% deposit and 50 on the completion, and we call it good.
Okay.
So
sounds good to me.
Before I leave, because I won't be up this way for quite some time. Before I leave, we could talk.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll write things down and go over prices.
Certainly can.
Yeah, that's good news.
Where are you located?
Win. Here in Millinocket on Route 2. No, I'm all out of cards, but Neil here can write you some information down. I'm open Wednesday through Sunday, 10 to 6, unless there's a fair going on the weekend that I'm not there. Yeah, I love to do custom work, so if you have some sort of challenge for me, I love to do it.
Well,
You do,
maybe this will be
horseshoes?
something.
I don't shoe horses, but I can make them. It's a liability. I know everything there is about the iron side of it. It's the animal part that I'm wary about.
How about case hardening things?
What?
Case hardening.
Yep. I can temper, case harden, anything you want. Just about. Depends what it's made out of, but... Making another scroll on this end, just like the other one. And now I'm just going to bend it back. Always want to protect your work by quenching it, because these fires have a tendency, if you're talking to someone, burn your pieces up. This thinner steel will heat up faster than the thicker parts. There's always a thinner part that's the decorative part, because that's what you just got done beating on. Time to clean this out. They've been using this all day. The dirty forge.
So you have to change it out every so often?
Oh yeah. I recycle my coal. I'll clean out my forges. I have more than one. And I sift the coal, or Neil here will sift the coal. Someone will sift the coal out, take the clinkers out, let all the ash settle out, and then take all the good, what is called coke, which is burned coal, which burns pure. Most of the impurities are gone out of coke. And that's what you want to make your tools out of, and your knives, and all that good stuff, because no impurities will, in a way, transfer to the steel. A little more heat, very good. Get some more BTUs here and get that finished. Now, blacksmiths are called the kings of craftsmen. There's a long story behind that, King Solomon and all that, but we make our own tools. Short story. Basically, everything we need we can make. And that's when other craftsmen don't have that luxury. That's good. That's an S-hook, ladies and gentlemen. Still hot. Still got slag on it. That's that stuff that's been knocked off. I'm going to quench it and I'll bring it to you. And make sure it's straight though. I'm going to knit for straight. This is basically the S-hook. It's unfinished, unpainted. You can either paint it or put a wax finish. You can even put fresh coal on your fire and let it sit on top and it will blacken it naturally, which is kind of dirty. I don't always do that to things. But there you go. That's what blacksmiths do. I mean, things from small things like this or large items like ship's anchors or miles of chain even. We can do it all.